Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. Today we get to drink some pretty cool whiskey. This is coming from 13th century, okay? Not 13th colony. Different thing. 13th century, they are in Colorado, okay? And what I've got here is their Cigar Blend Bourbon. And it came highly recommended from one of my buddies, Matt, who, if you're in our Discord, you probably know Matt, but he's a bit of a whiskey nerd. If you've seen his collection, like when we do our virtual bottle shares, everyone's always like, bruh, you know. He says this is his like #1 whiskey of 2025. Okay, so I'm going to take that recommendation and test it. We'll see if it's worth that kind of praise or not. So we'll go ahead and pour it. Let me unpack a little bit about this bourbon for you, okay? Okay, real quick, this is after the fact. I've already recorded the video, but I got some additional information that I wanted to make sure I got into the video. So I had to pause my editing work to include this. Okay, so this company, 13th Century, what they're doing, allegedly, is they're taking White Dog, which is unaged distillate, off the stills from MGP. They're having tanker trucks drive that distillate across the country to Colorado, where they receive it. They're like at the base of Pikes Peak. They're like near Colorado Springs area, if you're familiar with that area. I've spent a lot of time in Colorado Springs, so lovely area. Anyways, once they get the distillate there, they are aging it in small, like 30-gallon barrels. I did talk about this in the video. They're aging it in like smaller 30-gallon barrels vertically. So the bung is on the top of the barrel instead of on the side of the barrel. Does that make sense? And then after the initial aging with this distillate, it's 8 years aged in Colorado in these vertical barrels. Apparently they have a ton of evaporative loss. This is information that's coming from Bourbon Real Talk, who talked to the owners of the NDP of 13th Century. But this is basically what's happening is they're losing a lot of liquid inside the barrel over 8 years. So it ends up being very like thick, you know, very oaky, because you got all the extra surface area contact with the wood. Then after the initial aging, they then put it in your standard 53-gallon size barrels that are heavily toasted. Now they have two different bottles that they will bottle their products in. One of them is a taller bottle, and the inside of the bottle is a hollowed out space that's shaped like a still. So it's really cool looking. You could like light it up from underneath. The other bottle is a more squat bottle, smaller, but the inside is hollowed out to be the shape of a barrel. And they even have the bung on the top of the barrel inside. That's the attention to detail that they've got with their bottles, which is really, really cool, right? This particular cigar blend is in the taller bottle with the still inside of it. Okay, just wanted to make sure I got all the information communicated to you, because I think that that's the kind of stuff that makes distilleries stand out. Let's get back to the video. Also worth noting is the price tag of this. I think is $170 for the cigar blend, but that's just for their cigar blend. If you go onto their website, you can see, this is one thing I really appreciate about craft distillers, is when they have good transparency. So on their website, it's not a fancy website. This looks like somebody who was like, I don't know how to make a website, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So it's not like the prettiest website in the world, but kudos for the transparency. They've got pictures of each bottle, and this is the stuff that really matters, right? The bottles look great, right? The bottling is really distinct, stands out, but there's a lot of information about each individual bottle that you can buy from them. It gives you the name of what the product is, what kind of a finish they've done. They tell you the mash bill of every bottle, the age of every bottle, the char level of every barrel for every bottle, the proof points, all that stuff, which I really appreciate, because so many times we go buying whiskey and you look at the label and it's like, I have no idea what's in here. I don't know the age of this. I don't know the mash bill of this. I don't know any information that, you know, a seasoned whiskey collector would want to know about that juice. I hate when I have to go to a third party to track that information down. I would much prefer, it just communicates to me that the distiller really believes in their product when they're willing to give up all the information about their product. I don't want to call it, I recently just did a video on Peerless, and one of the things I said, it was like, the whiskey's really good. It's just really, really expensive, and I wish I could justify it, but there's nothing on the label that tells me the age, you know, all that information that would help me understand the price point. And so I hate when distilleries keep that stuff hidden from you and I have to go find it from a third party. All that to say, 13th Century is not doing that. Full transparency on their website, which I appreciate. All right, that's enough talk. Let's nose it, taste it, find out how good it is. First thing I think of on the nose here is like loose leaf black tea. The more I nose it, the more I want to revise that and say, no, this is more like on the nose, like sweet iced tea, like southern sweet iced tea on the nose. And I also get this note of like walking into an antique store. When I was growing up, if we were on vacation, visiting a nearby town or whatever, if there was an antique store nearby, my mom would demand that she had to go, right? She needed to do some antique shopping. So as a kid, I got really used to the smell of an antique store. I really like the nose of this. Okay, it's not like your typical, just like vanillas and caramels and toffees. There's a lot more to it. It's much more aromatic, like a bowl full of potpourri. There's also like a figgy date kind of a thing going on too, which I really appreciate. Well, the nose has me excited to try this. So let's do it. Cheers. I forgot to say, this is hazmat. It's like 141 proof. Woo! And it drinks every one of those proof points. And Matt gave me a warning. He's like, hey, warm up with something first before you have this pour. He's like, I'm going to send this to you and I want you to enjoy it. So warm up your palate with something else because it's hot. Now it is hot. I did acclimate my palate before trying this, but it is full of flavor. It is not just heat. It's not just overwhelming my palate with ethanols, right? There is a ton of flavor in this whiskey. It's not like your super peppery oak. It's more like cinnamon and allspice mixed with oak. But you could tell me, and this was not finished in any like wine cask or anything, but you could tell me this was like a cognac finish, I would believe you, because I get plenty of those dates and figs, those kinds of notes. My grandma growing up used to make date pudding for desserts at like most of our family gatherings. So I'm very used to dates and figs in desserts. I grew up in a family that was all over the place, right? Cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents in all kinds of different countries. So when everyone was back in the States, we would have all kinds of mixed dishes because I had people who were making dishes that were native to Indonesia, the Philippines, Cambodia, Central Africa, Russia even. My grandparents spent a bunch of time in Russia when I was real little. And so I got to have a lot of those like Eastern European dishes, especially, your baklava, those kinds of desserts, honey, fig, stuff like that. This really reminds me of those sort of Eastern European kind of dishes. And there's a nuttiness to it it's not peanut at all. It's more like your walnuts. And those like really aromatic notes you're getting on the nose, your antique shop, your potpourri, that comes around late palate. It's like a little bump in the late palate, and then it softens out and just stretches out delicately through the finish. Man, I got to tell you, that is, that's got a lot going on. The hazmat status here doesn't like wash out any of the flavors. It's not overbearing. It doesn't bury them. You still get the heat. You feel the heat. It's there. It's a big factor in this sip, but it's not overbearing. That I appreciate. I can tell you, I've never bought anything from 13th Century before. After tasting this, I know this is like, the creme de la creme of their products, but still, having tasted this, now I want to buy their stuff. I want to try their base tier offerings. I want to try their bourbon, their rye. They've got like a bourbon, a rye, and an American single malt finished in Oloroso casks. I want to try that too. I want to try all their offerings because this is seriously impressive. I want more. It tastes to me like something that you would get from Southern Heat, right? I'm into it. I dig it quite a bit. I would highly recommend if they release this again. Like I think they did a seal box drop for this product. If they do another one of those, like if you get the seal box newsletters in your email, I check those all the time. Because a lot of times you're going to get stuff like this. It's like, I had no idea even what this was or who these people were, but suddenly there's, Seal Box is notifying me, hey, we got this special bottle in from this distillery, limited stock. So try it out if you want. Sometimes when you do that, you're going to get some dynamite pours. It's totally free, by the way, to just sign up for their mailing list. So I recommend that you do so that stuff like this doesn't just like pass you by. Like at this point, we've all got those bottles that everybody says, go chase it, right? Go chase the JD 12s and 14s and the Russell's 13s and 15s and anything Buffalo Trace, go chase it. And those are all great bottles, don't get me wrong, but don't overlook the other gems, the hidden gems out there. You know, go searching for those too, because like a lot of these bottles that became big ticket things that everyone's aware of, they didn't start out that way. They started out like this, right? And they built a reputation from there. And if you had one of the early bottles, hey, that's like a collector's item at that point. So I'm always on the lookout for stuff like this. Thanks, Matt, for sending me a sample of your bottle. This is superb. Like if I were to rate this on my scale, it would probably be around that 9, like 8.9 to 9. It'd be right in that range because it's distinct. It's not a simple, pour by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot going on here. It's highly complex. And it would definitely stand out in a lineup against other like hazmat bourbons because they tend to be more your vanillas and caramels and your dark rich leathers and stuff like that. And this just goes a completely different direction that is very good. That I appreciate. Thanks again, brother. Hey, if you're not in our Discord group, join it. It's totally free. Get in there, say hello, introduce yourself. We'd love to get to know you. We've got wonderful people in our Discord. The link is in the description. And we just wrapped up our virtual bottle share, this round of it, which was all single barrels, right? We did like store picks and club picks and stuff like that and shared them with each other. And we had like, 14 different whiskeys that we got to try together over the course of 4 different nights. It was a blast. So if you want to get involved in the next one, make sure you join our Patreon group, which is like the base tier is $1. It's basically free, but that gets you access to the Patreon lounge so you can see what we're talking about, events coming up. Also, Patreon members, I have a full distillery review that I'm going to do. The catch is I don't know the distillery. I've never had their stuff before, according to our like admin and whatnot. So the Patreon members pitched in. They all got me this a full blind, and they're not labeled, so I don't know what's in there. I have no idea. But I'm going to do a live stream just for the Patreon members where I will crack those open. I'll go through the full blind and give my honest thoughts and feedbacks, and then I'll find out. Then they'll let me know what I was tasting. So that'll be really fun because obviously you can't cheat if you don't know what it is. So it should be enjoyable. So I'm going to ping you guys in the Discord and pitch a couple of nights to you, and we'll see who has the most availability on what nights, and we'll come to a conclusion as to when I want to live stream that. Hopefully this week. Sound good? Hey, cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.